This is Tony Gonzalez from Made in Metal talking to Esa Holopainen, who is going to release the first CD, Silver Lake. Is your first solo CD, Esa, no?
Yes, it's coming out end of this month. I think 28th is the releasing date, and yeah, excited about it too. That people can hear another side of me.
How are you today? Is a rainy day in your city?
It's okay. It's a bit cold. I think it's been cold here for a week now. Considering usually it should be a little bit warmer at this time, but luckily it's no snow anymore and it doesn't rain, so it's okay.
When I saw the photograph, the promo photograph, I see you on the shore, the coast, and I imagine that you can open the door of your house, walk 2 or 3 blocks, and then you can find the coast there.
Almost. That's actually the promo shot is taken next to the Lake Bodom, which is a bit far where I live, but it's a huge lake, very beautiful. There's a lot of people spending time in the summertime. Where I live, if I step outside from my house, I'm facing a forest, so I'm pretty close to nature as well.
When I read the promo information, there is a statement that to me was interesting that you say, and is I've been thinking of doing my own records for years. Why you didn't do before?
I guess simply that I just haven't got any time to focus on anything else than working with Amorphis, because we've been really busy. I think last 5 or 10 years or so, and I never really felt about start to do a new project from the scratch in between all that short period of time that I've got. I always used my time of writing for Amorphis, and other than that, enjoying my life in between tours because our touring life has been pretty hectic. But now that everything stopped and I really didn't have anything else to do, I started to work with this solo album. And my friend who produced the album, Nino Lauren, he actually called me up and asked if I would like to start to work with my solo album with him. And now that I have time, and I'm really happy that he called, because other than that, I probably would have just watched Netflix or played PlayStation the whole last year.
Does this mean that these songs were written in the past, or some of them are fresh?
There were 3 songs that I had on my computer that were not rather that old, but I wrote probably 1 or 2 years ago, and that was from where I started the project. I played the songs to my producer and asked what he thinks about it. Is it like stuff that it's worth of going further, or should I do something else? He was really happy with the songs and said to me that you should probably try to find some singer for the songs, because songs themselves were pretty solid and already had like a proper chorus and verse lines, and like real songs. So that's how I got started. Got 3 great vocalists: Einar Solberg, Björn from Soilwork, and Jonas from Katatonia, for those first 3 songs. And they turned out so well that I knew where I'm going with the album, with the rest of the material, and wanted to ask more familiar friends to join with.
Why do you decide not to be the singer in Silver Lake?
Me?
Yes.
I've never sing anything unless I'm drunk. Then I can do some karaoke singing. That's my 5 cents as a singer. But no, seriously, I really didn't think about it. Of course, I did some demo singing for myself for the guidelines, but not anything that would stay on the album, because having such a great singers here, I think I would have just destroyed everything by singing something. I'm a guitar player. That's why I did the instrumental song there. That's my way of singing. I do it with the guitar.
But now that you mentioned some singers, the singers who sang the first songs that you prepared, For example, when you prepare the rest of the songs, did you have in mind the singers or not?
Yes, I had. I had the singers in my mind for whom I wanted to ask, mainly because the singers wanted to have on this album are the singers that I, in overall, highly respect and like, and I'm a big fan of their own music. And these singers have some way touched me. Yeah, I think for me that was more natural way to offer songs for them if I can rely on their sound world and pick up the nuances from what I like about them. For example, in her solitude, which is Tommy Oates singing. Of course, it has a little bit amorphous type of an elements in the air because the way Tommy sings, it has this traditional crawling chorus, crawling verse, clean chorus lines, what he does also in Amorphis. But besides that, it's there's a lot of playing around. It's truly a band song.
But for example, now that you speak about In Her Solitude, I was thinking maybe In Her Solitude will be a song that Anneke van Giersberger could sing because it's in her solitude.
In that way, yeah. That's there is a connection. I get it, yeah. But I think Fading Moon, the song itself, but Anneke is singing, is actually made for Anneke in the way that it goes in the key level where she operates. And but yeah, why not? In Her Solitude could be doable probably for her as well. But you probably mean as a text or lyric wise or the song title wise.
This was interesting because, for example, you write the song, and but did you give her the opportunity to select the tone or something?
Yeah, that was pretty important for me. That and I think one of the challenges making this album that every singer was their own case, and I had to take care of in which key I'm writing the song, in which key these singers usually operate, or where they feel good about operating. A lot of details that you don't normally worry that much about when you write. For example, if I write songs for Amorphis, I pretty much know in where Tommy operates with his voice.
Yes, and it's not the first time you play with Anneki because I saw you on a video live maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, we worked quite a lot with Anneke. She featured on Queen of Time album. She did a duetto with Tommy, Among Stars, the song. She's being as a guest vocalist on Amorphis shows. I also helped her out with her Voor band album a couple of years ago. So we worked quite a lot together, yes. And she's amazing talent, and I consider her as a pioneer what comes to female fronted metal bands these days. For me, I think she's the one who really started everything with a gathering back in the days. Great talent with an amazing, great attitude.
Yes, but that made me think that maybe you select the singers not only because they are really good, it's because they are connected to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to have that these singers have touched me some way, that we have some sort of connection. I knew almost every singer beforehand, except of two persons, the Finnish actor Vesa-Matti Loiri. Of course, I knew him, but I never met him before. And Swedish singer Håkan Henley. These artists I met first time during this project.
For example, when you call Tommy to sing In Her Solitude, don't you think that this song with the voice will be more amorphous than the rest of the CD?
Probably, yeah. I don't see that much other connection than the way the vocals are arranged and the way vocals are there. Of course, that is the way Tommy sings and performs in Amorphis as well. So I guess that is the closest we came with Amorphis compare on this album.
To me, it was interesting that you selected Storm as a single. Why it was Storm selected as a single?
We wanted to present Håkan for the wider audience as well, and it's a super catchy song. And we got the opportunity to do the first video from that song, so that was pretty natural choice to be on the first single.
First, I listened to the song and I didn't discover, but then when I read the information, I discovered that yes, in the structure, there is a little Dire Straits mood or something. Sometimes it's difficult to think that the guitar player who plays Tales from a Thousand Lakes and Elegy got these musical influences. And now, are you going to tell me that apart from Dire Straits, you are into Eric Clapton or something?
Yeah, I've always been, since we did like the Karelian Isthmus, I was already digging Pink Floyd and Dire Straits. They're my childhood heroes and influenced me a lot. Although what it is, Tales was made in almost 30 years ago, so it would be a little weird if I wouldn't progress as a musician during these 30 years. So I think this Silver Lake album is pretty good map to my musical world, and it really shows different musical eras where what I'm influenced.
Are we going to see you alive with this band?
I don't think so. It's not that realistic that I can bring it alive. Mainly because there is so many different singers located in different places, and when we are able to tour again and do shows, I think everyone is going to prioritize their own bands. But I think, perhaps on some festivals it could be doable with the bands that the vocalists are on. But still, logically, logistically, it's quite a task.
I imagine that maybe sometimes you want to be with some friends and do a small shows around your city or your country.
Yeah, why not? I would be into that. But yeah, as I said, I think, when we go back to the old world, I am going to be really busy with Amorphis again when the next album comes out next year. So if there's any time for anything like that, would be of course great. But we just have to wait and see.
Before finishing, I cannot forget another song that to me was really beautiful and impressive. That is Ray of Light. I would like that you tell me about the song, how did you create it, why did you select Einar Sorber from Lepros, please.
That was one of the first songs that I made that was on my computer, if not even the first. It had so many elements in the song that I didn't want to offer for anywhere else. It was too different for any Amorphis session, but it was something that I have kept for myself for a long time. I wrote the song with the keyboards and with a guitar, and it has sort of like a poppy elements in there. And actually, the only person that I could imagine to sing it was Einar, because there was some sort of a connection to him. And I sent the song to him, and I asked, if this would be something that you would be able to work with and you would like to work with. And he was happy to work with the song, and he came up with one of the most amazing vocal lines, and I'm really grateful and happy for that.
Esa, apart from the singers, did you play all the instrument?
I played all the guitars. I had played all the bass and keyboards as well for my demos, but my producer told that it's probably better if you take a studio guy for keyboards and bass lines, which was a good choice. I have unbelievable guys there playing on that album.
Okay, Esa, basically that was my question. If you want to say goodbye to the Spanish audience, are we going to see Amorphis in Spain in next year?
Yeah, gracias for the interview. Absolutely. There's been already so many shows postponed further. I'm really sure that we come to Spain with Amorphis in 22 when the world opens again for tour life. and really can't wait. It's one of the greatest countries ever. Great weather, great food, great audience. Just superb.
I enjoy talking to you.
Thank you. It was really nice interview. Nice talking to you.
I hope to see you with Amorphis next year.
Yes, me too. Okay. Gracias. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.